All right, let's wait for another minute. All right, so welcome back to another episode of Think Small, where we are talking to small businesses and creators about the small steps for a bigger future. So, this week we have with us the very talented Shivani, who is a very talented ceramic artist. And this week's episode is little different as we are not only talking about the business journey but also about a very interesting thing, that's the growth of passion economy. So in simple words, passion economy is making money out of your passion. So can someone confirm if my video is paused? You can type it in the chat section. So are you able to hear my voice and see the video clearly? All right, it's not paused. I suppose. All right. Hi Shivani, how are you?
Hey, I hope it's not my internet that's the problem. Can you hear me and see me all fine?
Yeah, we can hear you and see you all fine.
Perfect.
All right. So Shivani, how have you been?
I'm good. I'm here at your mom's place after very long, like after 2 months, I think. So like finally we got vaccinated this week, so we are here to visit my parents, which is
All
why
right.
the like shift setting. Yeah. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been in my hometown I think since April. So it's much better than Bangalore, but yeah, it's going fine now. So Shivani,
That's nice.
yeah. So why
Yeah,
don't we
let's
start by your journey? Sorry, what were you saying?
go ahead.
No. Let's go ahead with your journey and what all you have done till now.
Sure. So you want me to start at the very beginning?
Yeah.
So, to those who don't know me who are here, I'm a ceramic artist and I paint ceramics. And I've been running this creative business for about 3 years now. So, before that, I originally come from the education sector. So, right after I finished my studies, I spent about 7 years working in the education space, where I worked with children and teachers from low income backgrounds. I started out as an English teacher and then went on to do like different projects in that space. And very like unexpectedly, about 3 years back, I sort of stumbled upon this whole new path that has led me to where I am right now, painting ceramics. And it's been like, okay, let me tell you a little bit about how it started. So, like I said, so I started with teaching in the classroom, which was amazing. It brought me all the energy that I needed. But over a period of time, I think my career in the education space had essentially become a desk job. I was developing apps for children for learning English, and I was essentially doing what I liked, but I was behind the desk, and I knew I needed something creative to keep me going. And I just started painting on the side as a hobby, as I'd always done in my life. I liked art and I did it as something to sort of keep me going alongside my career. Uh, but I was at a point where I knew that I was looking for something a little bit more. And very randomly, one day, I saw an email from a flea market in Bangalore saying that they were opening up stalls for their upcoming fair. And I was one of those people who always went to flea markets and like looked at all the beautiful things. But I was like, oh, I won't buy this because I can make this at home. I can make that at home. And I always wanted to be the person behind the stall. So I don't know. I think when it comes to making decisions, I think I'm someone who just jumps onto big ideas without, too much sort of planning. And it was one of those moments. I was like, I've been painting for a while, I've been sharing it, people seem to like what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take a chance on myself and just see how this experience goes. I'll take a stall at this flea market and I will try some selling some of my art for the very first time. And I wanted to see what it felt like an experience to even make money of something that you just do as a hobby. It's not something I had even thought of doing before. But I used that as sort of a springboard. It was 2 weeks of complete madness because I had no idea how any of this worked. But for the first time ever, I decided to paint like these wooden frames that could be used as photo frames. And with a bunch of friends, we painted like 100 frames within a week, put them up for sale. And I think that was just my very first experience of even knowing how it feels to turn something that you love into something that you can make a business out of. And it's gone on since then. Like it's been an amazing journey of just discovering, exploring, figuring out what I like that has brought me to this point where I am now working on ceramics full time.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I think there has been a huge change in the career paths as well. Like people are taking a huge shift in the traditional career paths and going for like small businesses and everything. And people, and right now it's a era where we can literally make money out of our passion, like anything we can do. And so very interestingly, I read somewhere, like since 2015 to today, there has been a huge what do you call, the number of people at applying for the JEE main, the joint entrance exam for engineering, has decreased from around 14 lakh
Really?
to 9. Yeah, from 14 lakh to 9 lakh. And I think 14 lakh was around in 2015, and till in 2020 it was around 9 lakh. So I think people have been like pushing the traditional jobs aside and looking up for other opportunities. Obviously, like you also like left the education thing, and then you opted for something that's more fulfilling for your creative mind. So like what's your, in your opinion, why is this shift happening?
I think that's a very interesting statistic that you've shared. I wasn't aware of that, but I can say that I agree with you from what I've seen within my own friends circle. Like there are so many people I know who've gone on to try so many wonderful ideas of running a business, and probably in areas where like 5 years back I wouldn't have even imagined that this is a possible avenue for you to run a business or make money out of, right? Like right from travel blogging to art, like there's so many people trying so many things. And like personally I feel like in my case, I think I would attribute so much of this to just having access to social media. I think like having this platform online where at no capital cost or at no risk I can share my ideas, I can share my thoughts. It is so easy for me to reach an audience anywhere in the world who resonates with what I do. I think that has played such a big role in even making me want to take this step. That I think just the ease of reaching people has made it seem less daunting. I think in an age where there was no social media, probably taking this step of leaving a job and starting a business might have been a far riskier proposition because you're putting in some investment, you don't know how you're going to market it, how viable is it going to be. But I mean, do you agree? Like, do you think so? Like, I mean, the fact that you're running this podcast today, I think just because how easily we can connect with each other just makes it so much easier to jump in and share what you're passionate about.
So true. Absolutely, I agree with you. With the internet, with especially with the reduced amount of cost for the internet and everything, it has been really easy for anyone to start a business online. And especially with the pandemic, when people are not going to offline stores, when even after
Exactly.
pandemic, the footfall was very less compared to the previous like pre-pandemic era. So online business has totally bloomed. So I wanted to ask you that what's your advice that you would give someone who wants to pursue their career in the creative field?
As in, one thing I would say is that there's no better time than now. Like, I think all you need today is like a phone, your skill set, and your material at home to be able to like run a creative sort of a fulfilling business in just 1 second. I think my internet is still fine, right?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what I was saying is that I don't think there's a better time than now. Like literally, I think just with anything that you have at home, like I know amazing watercolor tutors who are doing like tutorials just from, you know, a very basic setup that they have at home, running a business that is very financially viable. There are people who are doing digital arts and prints. So it is there, you know, it was never easier to reach people. It was never easier to share your work with the world. Whether you're teaching, whether you're selling something that you're making, and people want it. Like, you know, if there's one thing we need, especially in times like today's, I think the world needs creative work. And it is very evident from the fact that like when the pandemic started, I was personally very worried about how this season is going to be. Like, you know, art is not something that people buy as a necessity. So I was worried about whether people are still going to buy art. Are they still going to want it amidst all that's happening around us? But I think it is increasingly clear that people want art. They need beautiful things in their lives more now than ever. And just given how easily, you know, like when you share something online, especially if you're doing something creative, like you never know how it might just touch someone. And, you know, like seeing that beautiful thing that you've made can add so much to their lives that for anybody who is creatively inclined and who's been looking to start something on their own, I think I'd say there isn't a better.
So true, so true. I absolutely agree with you on this. And I think with people sitting at home, many of them are having a lot of disposable income in this case, because and with this they can actually afford all the the creative needs in this case. Staying at home, maybe many have shifted to their hometown, and you know they are saving on the rent, and they're saving on the saving on the takeout food. So all that money is being accumulated, and the things that they have not been able to buy for so many years, people are finally trying to invest in that, maybe be it stock market, be it the creative field, everything. People are able to do that. And I would just like to answer one comment. Kiran, we are actually not talking in Hindi because we have people from all over India, and some may not understand Hindi here. So if you, अगर आपको कोई कुछ भी doubt है, आपको कुछ भी पूछना है, तो please आप DM कर दीजिए हमको.
Yeah.
All right. So, Shivani, I think you started your business in the pre-pandemic, a bit in the pre-pandemic era, right? So, what's the shift? So, what's the shift in the audience and in the trends have you seen in the post-pandemic era?
You also started my business before the pandemic hit us. I think the first year of business for me was it was just about exploration. Like I was trying to make sense of what I like. I was trying to make sense of what my audience like. So I would say that the first year I wouldn't really even count it. Like I don't know if it can be counted. I think when sort of I started settling into the business is when the pandemic hit. So I think all of my experience so far has been just in the pandemic era, you know. And like like I said, I was initially quite worried about how this is going to sustain, because it sort of felt that just as I was gaining momentum, just as I was starting to get orders, there was this huge setback that came in the form of the pandemic. So I don't know if I can say that I've observed a shift, but I do feel that how the business sustained during the pandemic was very different from how I imagined it would. One thing is, I knew from the beginning that a lot of my audience is people who are looking for gifts. Like they're either buying it for themselves, but they often buy it to gift people. You know, they gift close ones for the wedding or for a new house. And somewhere, I think because people couldn't meet each other during this extremely long period, I think the want to gift something special was far more than usual. Like they wanted their gift to be extra special, they wanted it to be handmade, they wanted it to be personalized. And like that's true always, but I think during the pandemic it became more important than ever for people to make sure that their feelings were reaching people that they love in a very special way. So I actually ended up making far more things as gifts than I anticipated I would. So I think that's also like sort of, connected to what I said earlier, that art may not be like a necessity that people are looking for. But if one thing I've observed is that people want beautiful things that can make them happier in this phase, uh, which is probably not a shift, but it is probably a realization that I've had through this last year of business.
Yeah. I think people are spending more time at their home, so they are also trying to beautify the space they are living in, because previously they didn't have much time to stay at home and actually analyze their background and everything. So Shivani, what are the ways in which we can order? Like one way is through your website that I have seen. So is there customized order, and like what's the procedure for that?
Yes, I know I have a website in place so that at least all my offerings can be seen in one place. So far, Instagram and website have been two main channels for me to accept orders. With respect to customization, I don't do a lot of it, but it sort of is on a case to case basis. Like initially, when I started out, I used to customize a lot, but through the process, I also realized what I enjoy and what people like more. So initially, it was very helpful because it allowed me to see what different people were asking for. But I think over a period of time, it has come to a point where I've understood very well what my signature style is, what people like, and it has helped me create a collection which feels like my own. So I encourage people to sort of pick from that. But of course, because it is hand painted, customizing it is not a problem at all. It's easy to do. So if someone has a specific request, I do try and like incorporate it the best I can, as long as it stays true to what I personally enjoy as well. I think customization is always finding a balance between both. Like it is about the client liking it, but it is also about me liking it as well, right?
Yeah.
So if we I am able to strike that balance, I offer customization. Or sometimes if we are unable to meet that balance, then I do.
True, true. So I think you started this business as this was your favorite pastime, like painting. You have been loving painting since the starting, and painting was something that you did apart from your full time job. So right now, when this is your full time job, what do you do in your free time?
I garden. I garden a lot. It's a lockdown hobby, a lockdown passion that has suddenly come out of me, which I didn't know existed earlier. But I spend a lot of time just taking extra care of my plants, which has also killed some of them, unfortunately, with all the over attention and over watering. But it's something that really helps me slow down, I think,
Yeah.
because I think making art as a hobby and making art as a business feels very different. Like when you do it as a hobby, I think it is what slows you down and it is what brings you outside of the chaos of your day. But I think when you do it as a business, it feels really different. Like it is no longer the same meditative space all the time because there are so many things that you're taking care of. So I think right now gardening is that thing for me which pulls me out of that and which slows me down. And I'm absolutely like loving it.
All right, that's really good to hear. So, for the audience, if you have any questions, please drop down the questions in the comment section or in the question section below. All right. So, I think we are almost coming an end to today's session. So, this is a question that I really like everyone to answer. So, what's that one piece of advice that you would give yourself when you started?
Just not long back. I would just have to talk to myself for like 2 years back. Let me. Um, I think when we think about something that I wish I would have done differently.
All right, let's rephrase the question. So right now, suppose if one of your cousins who wants to who's already stuck in some other work, but they do not have their heart in the work, and if they want to start something else, so like how would you guide them to start anything?
Sure, that's a good question. I think that's something, yeah. As in, it's a question that I also often get asked, that how do you like just start something without, and how do you stick to it? Because often we start with a burst of energy, but probably sticking to something consistently is where things fall apart, right? So I think one piece of advice that I still need to tell myself is to include like some form of creative practice. Like I'm saying, if this is to do with a creative business or with whatever you're doing, like to start small and to stick to that small routine every single day. Like to give you an example, I'll tell you of an example back then and now. So when I started painting, I had a very hectic full-time job. And what I was painting essentially were my old visiting cards, which are literally this size. So I used to paint one on the back side of one visiting card every day. And it did not take me more than 15 minutes to complete it. And which was enough. If I started doing like large canvases and started doing like, large, uh, papers, I probably wouldn't have finished it every day. But I decided that I'll just paint one small visiting card every day. And that sort of helped me stay in the habit. And that's something I'm trying to do now, because now I'm trying to move on from painting ceramics to actually making my own ceramics, which means I now work with clay. And it's completely new. It's a new medium to me. It's not something I'm used to spending my time on. And which is exactly what I'm trying to do now again, which is to take up a very small project. Like even if it's just 30 minutes of working with clay, I make sure I make something every day. It could be a small bird, it could be a small earring, so nothing that takes a lot of time, but it's helping me get into the habit of practicing it every single day. So I think that's an advice I would like give anyone, that if it's something new that you're planning to take on, I think it is like, the initial burst of energy is always there, but for you to continue doing it over a long period of time, I think develop a small routine that helps you sustain that practice every day.
I think that's really useful, having the routine. Yeah, that's really useful. So we
If we start with like something super large, we may not end up doing it. Like it's so easy to get discouraged initially. If you have something really small, I think it just helps you keep going.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So I think we have a question in the comments as well. So what keeps you motivated throughout the serious art business?
By the way, Shubhecha, she works with me, just so you know. She knows me. Hi, Shubhecha. Huh. So I wonder a lot about this myself, because there are some days which are, even when you're running a creative business, there are days when you don't, like, I question myself that, Shibani, why are you doing this? Like, is this stress worth it? But when I sit down to paint, and when I sit with like a ceramic piece in front of me, I have my music playing, and when I paint, I know how that feels. And I think it is that feeling that will always bring me back to it in spite of all the difficulties. Like, I try to be very conscious of that, because there are so many things. There are DMs to respond to, and Instagram posts to share, emails to reply to, and like it can get very chaotic in a way that you no longer, really remember why you started this in the first place. But whenever I sit down to paint, I just let that feeling seep inside me to sort of remind me why I am here. And it is that feeling I am still here for. As long as it feels the same way, I think I can keep doing this with the same enthusiasm.
That's nice. Yeah, I had a question. So, do you do everything alone, or do you have a team behind this, like from painting to managing the store and everything?
I no longer do everything by myself. So Shubhecha, who asked this question, she works with me at the studio full time, and she helps me with absolutely everything, like right from painting to packaging. It was like initially it was a one-man show, But
Mm.
after a point, I think you need equally skilled people on your team to grow this. Like you can't really sustain doing everything on your own. And it's
Absolutely.
important you do what you're good at and let someone else do what they are good at.
And I think it's really nice to have a team, because every day if you're doing it alone, it may get lonely sometimes, especially for an entrepreneur, because mostly people meet different people at their work. But
And
when you are working, and if you're working all alone, so that may be a little bit like you may find yourself alone sometimes. But having a team really helps, to motivate.
that
And
is true, because I came from a very corporate setup where we had like 50 people in the office. So
yeah,
from that to going to working alone, it was a big change for me. So it certainly feels nice to have company.
so true. So I think it was a really interesting session, Shivani. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. And I'm really glad to just see that you're doing this as well. I hope this is leading to your passion economy as well.
Yeah, so my passion has always been talking to people, and lately, like from the pandemic, I have been interested in the small business. So I just thought, why not combine both the things together?
I mean, yes, you and I sitting here, as in you used my example, but I think you yourself are an example of how easy it is today to like take something that you love doing. And like we spoke on the phone the other day, that without this whole social media, you and I would have never even connected to speak about this. But the fact that we are doing it so easily, I think is evidence of how easy it is to take something you love and to just like start with it, right?
So true, so true. And people often ask me like how to start. I just say them like just start with everything. Like at the worst, what would happen? It would not work. Like in the worst case scenario. And but so what? You can, yeah, you can,
Absolutely.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
There's very low risk what we are doing, right? Like there's nothing to lose.
Exactly. But there is a lot to gain, but there's nothing to lose. So why not try it?
Like the odds are totally in our favor right now.
So true. Like in the worst case scenario, I like till 5 episodes, I have made 5 new friends. So that's the worst case
Yes,
scenario.
awesome. But it was lovely talking to you, Dikshita.
It was so lovely to talk to you and learn everything about your journey as well. Thank you, Shivani, for doing this.
Good night. Bye.
Uh, Good
And
night.
thank you
Take
to everybody who joined in.
Yeah, thanks everyone who joined it. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Good night.